Hey everybody, Want a Wisdom here. It is technically Christmas to me. It's really Thursday, like 10 minutes after midnight. That said, hopefully everyone had a great Christmas. This is kind of cool for me. I've mentioned several times I've kind of been tweaking, the recording process, the recording equipment. Capture card, I've had a couple of issues with it. It's a brand new one. In theory, I was hoping it wouldn't drop frames. That has not always been the case. That said, I've been capturing from my old TV. Again, it's been a trooper. Probably had it since the 90s, somewhere in there, probably late 90s to my credit. I was having to capture with composite cables. There's no HDMI inputs at the time that TV was made. It's I think a 32-inch screen, probably 34 inches back. That gives you any notation there of where it lied in the advancement of technology. That said, I finally did it. Picked up a new TV. I actually intended to get a 32-inch. Nothing too fancy. Basically what I had, just modernized. As you know, I don't like crowds. I went in a store. They didn't have any 30. They had some 32 inches, but they're like the really expensive smart TVs. Was not interested in that. The brand I wanted and what I intended to buy didn't have 37, didn't have 39. They had a 42. It was the last one. It's a really good price. It was actually cheaper than the smart 32 inches they had. Long story short, I bought it. It somehow fit where my old 32-inch was, and it is now 1080. So this is true HD, the best cream of the crop. Problem now is I'm gonna have massive file sizes to compensate that. This first recording, I'm gonna go ahead. I've got it set to a 720 profile. I'm kind of gonna see how it goes there. So should be the last recording I did in terms of the introductions. Actually, the entire playthrough, it was an introduction. It was number 24. It would be for Legendary Night Shift. Said I'd come in here, I'd go in and do the rest of the legendaries. We just have 2, Grim Creeper and Zulu. I really wanted to come in and do, Jolly Bumblebust immediately. However, I've decided to just go ahead. I'm going to knock out basically 4 more. This will be Grim Creeper right here, obviously by the title. Then Legendary LightCore Grim Creeper. This, of course, is LightCore. Grim Creeper, in theory, should be coming. He's in the Arkeyan Crossbow battle pack, but another story, another day. So we'll do LCGC, then we'll do LLCGC, then we'll come in Zulu, then Legendary Zulu, and then I'll use that to actually lead into the first battle pack. We'll get Terrafin, I guess I'll do him first, then we'll do Bumble Blast, then we'll do Jolly Bumble Blast, then of course Popthorn, and then we'll just take it from there. But I don't want to ramble on too long because I'm kind of concerned about the file size here. But if you're going along, you just watch Legendary Night Shift, now you're here, or if this is the first introduction video you've watched on the playthrough, or list of characters, should be interesting because it will be new. So just for me, kind of to get a feel for the 720 profile, I'm going to record Jolly in 1080, see how that goes. But get him back out of here. Enchanted Hoot Loops on just because I was picking up some cash. Gonna go ahead and put LightCore.
Your time is up. LightCore.
Alright, so
rank up.
Played there. Portal Master rank up. And what we're gonna do, this is a marked difference. I mean, I had places on my old TV here in Woodboro, particularly now after Chapter 5, couldn't really see anything. I can see all that stuff now, and it is a marked improvement. What we'll go ahead and do, I'm trying to think here. It's been a while since I played. Actually, my nephew and I have been playing, but leave. Yeah, we'll just do jumps. This is what he looks like jumping. He's actually surprisingly agile. At least compared to what you can kind of anticipate from a guy named Grim. But he's creeping along pretty well in numbers. His primary attack, it's going to, what you see right here, 35. So essentially we call it 23 to 35. Then his secondary attack,
Time to cut and run.
I'm not sure if we Looks like it's gonna do like 15 30s. Yeah, so pretty effective box stock. Again, my nephew is a beast with this guy. That is kind of why you see him at level 3 with 653. That's mainly battle mode right there. Box stock, his health, I believe, was 250. Not 100% sure there, but I feel fairly confident that was correct. We're going to go ahead and come in here. We'll go to our collection screen here. This is much more vivid, much more vibrant. You can probably read it. If you thought, man, I can't even read this guy's, pause screens or, menu options, I couldn't either. On the old TV, I was actually using the gamepad. That's kind of why there were like some awkward pauses. Now I can use the gamepad, or I can just use the TV. It is a very nice situation for myself to be in. That said, we're going to come in here. As you can see, we've got the new exclamation there on our total collection and the undead. That's of course going to be because we've introduced Grim Creeper LightCore. Slogan, of course, your time is up. We're going to read the bio. I bet this is going to look really good for everybody as well. Alright, Grim Creeper, your time is up. When he was young, Grim Creeper visited the prestigious Grim Acre School for Ghost Wrangling, hoping to attend as a student. But when the Scaremaster interviewed him, he found that Grim didn't have any of the usual training the other students had. Because of this, he was turned away. However, as the young Grim was about to leave, a herd of rampaging ghosts suddenly flooded the school, carrying away the faculty and leaving the students to fend for themselves. Grim Creeper stood his ground, not only defending the other students, but using his amazing reaping talents to fight back the ghosts and contain them until help could arrive. Now a Skylander, Grim is considered one of the best reapers ever to swing a scythe, proving that studies alone are no substitute for bravery, passion, and true heroic spirit. So, very cool story there. Very cool that it's actually legible. I'm looking at the recording screen. I could read it there if I wanted to. The TV, it's massive there. The gamepad, I can read it. This is just a very cool place to be. So, gonna back out of there. What we'll do now, we'll actually come in to Skylanders and go to stats. Max health 300. Again, bear in mind he is at level 3. My apologies there. I like for these guys to be box stock when I introduce them. That it hasn't always happened. Again, I believe a big reason for him being at level 3, my nephew. Very good with this guy in battle mode. Speed 43, armor 6. The good news is that's going to get a significant bump for us. Critical hit 8 and elemental power 46. Obviously we've got quite a few undeads. Here wave 3 hits the 22nd at Toys R Us. I haven't seen them anywhere else just yet. It's expected target on the 29th, this coming Sunday. We'll have the wave 3 swappers. Toys R Us right now just had the wave 3 like your core characters. Phantom Cinder, Hyperbream, Prism Break, everyone like that. Dunebug, of course, being the main draw for most folks. LightCore not out yet. Neither of the battle pack or the adventure pack, both coming in this wave, have yet to be released yet. We don't know if it's going to be like GameStop or Best Buy or Walmart type situation. I'll keep you posted there. I didn't go. Again, crowds, not my thing, particularly Christmas. For whatever reason, instead of people embracing the holiday spirit, they're just really cranky, and a lot of them are sick with the flu in this area. And I don't care to be around that, so I kind of bypassed that. The cool thing is, Toys R Us actually had them online, so I went ahead and ordered them. They're shipping. I don't think they've shipped just yet. Hopefully today, the day after Christmas, maybe they'll get them. It's one of those things, I'm sure if I walk in the store, I'd probably find them since I ordered them. Had I not ordered them and went into the store hoping to get them, I probably wouldn't have found them. Then they wouldn't have been available online. It would have turned into a bigger deal. So that's it. We're going to back out of here. We're going to go to upgrades. Pretty interesting character here. What he has right now is a scythe swing. Press Y to swing a ghostly scythe at nearby enemies. Pretty basic standard attack. Secondary attack, ghost form. Press A to separate from the armor. Touch up to 2 enemies while in ghost form to mark them. Press A again to attack them with the living armor. So essentially, you kind of got some elements, Ghost Roaster, Fright Rider, Chop Chop, kind of a couple of different undead, plus kind of his own unique thing going on. But basically, we're going to go into detach mode, kind of eyeballish, if you will, with the eye. But what we want to do is come in out of the armor, sneak up, touch the two enemies, and as you saw there in the training grounds, then the armor is going to come swinging, do that somersault deal, 15 to 30 damage there. So, first purchased upgrade is the Poltergeist Scythe. Press X to knock enemies into the air with a spinning spectral scythe. That sounds really cool. Second purchased upgrade is called the Spirit Scythe. Press Y to swing a more powerful scythe that does increased damage. Third purchased upgrade, this is pretty interesting looking, Spook and Destroy. Press A to go into ghost form and leave behind living armor. Touch up to 5 enemies while in ghost form to mark them. Press A again to attack them with living armor. Obviously the jump from 2 to 5 right here before we've even picked a path, fairly significant. Final purchased upgrade is called Armored Amour. Living armor does increased damage when it flies back to Grim Creeper. Those pointy boots hurt. So, nice little deal there. I don't know if that's going to increase our armor or what, but we'll kind of feel that out. Now you got 2 paths you can basically pick. You're essentially going to go down with the scythe, the primary attack, or you're going to go ghost form, the secondary attack. Let's go ahead. We'll come in here. Top path here focuses on the scythe. It is called the Grim Scythe style path. Begins tertiary attack, if you will. Hold X for a short time to spin the scythe in a larger area and repeatedly hit enemies into the air. It's called the Spear of Fear, fittingly. Second purchased upgrade, Grave Danger. Critical hit is increased. That's interesting. First time I've seen that addressed. Concentrated ghost particles make it easier to do more damage to enemies. Final purchased upgrade here for the top path, Ghastly Damage. All attacks do increased damage for a short time after enemies are hit by the living armor. So, this may not address ghost form, directly, but essentially say we tag the 5 enemies. They take damage, but it doesn't kill them. Then we can just come in with our base attack, if you prefer that. It's going to deal a little bit more damage, make them more susceptible to defeat. Now, if you're interested in ghost form, this may actually be the better route to go for him. The good news is we're going to have Grim Creeper, we've got LightCore Grim Creeper, and then Legendary LightCore Grim Creeper. Bottom line, I'll be able to showcase both paths for you. You can make the call. I'll probably let Legendary take whichever path I prefer of those two. But this bottom one is called the Spooky Spectre path. It's alive. Press A to go into ghost form and leave behind living armor. Living armor will attack nearby enemies when it is attacked. So, essentially what that's doing, it's basically, instead of just the living armor standing there waiting for you to bring it back to you and damage enemies on the way, if you're tagging your 4th enemy and you're far away from the living armor and a chompy comes up, it will essentially, fend for itself against the chompy. So a lot of people find that helpful. Second purchased upgrade on this bottom path, Haunted Help. Press A to go into ghost form and leave behind living armor. Enemies between ghost form and the living armor take damage. So again, pretty interesting and possibly significant outcomes there. Final one is called Soul Sampler. Regain some health for each enemy hit by Spook and Destroy. That is pretty cool. Spook and Destroy, of course, right here. His third purchased upgrade, where you can tag the 5 enemies. So, again, in my opinion, he's dealing fairly decent damage numbers with the scythe as is, particularly probably after those base upgrades. Might be inclined to say Spooky Spectre at least seems like the better path at this point. Obviously I'll get to take both, confirm or reassess that. Now, being a standard core character, we're used to doing the top and the bottom for the swappers with the soul gems. None of that stuff. This is your traditional SSA type layout. You got your 3 purchased upgrades, you got 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom path, mind you, not like half of the character. And then you've got a soul gem, since this is his first appearance, no WoW pal just yet. From what I can tell, he seems to be fairly popular. In the event we see him back, say in the next game, should see a WoW pal for him. Now, his soul gem is an Ironjaw Gulch. I have not played that yet. It'll be in Chapter 6, which is the next one. His soul gem is called Help from Beyond. A ghostly ally appears from defeated enemies that will seek out and attack other nearby enemies. This is one of those things. If we had heroic challenges like Drobots in particular, this is where I would say, hey, go through this stuff box stock. Don't fully upgrade the guy. Some of these challenges become a nightmare. Undead characters in particular have issue with that. Particularly Ghost Roaster comes to mind. But no heroic challenges here. Not a big deal. The solo survival stuff, the more you do, the more beneficial it is. So that's that though. That is his, base upgrades, a Grim Scythe style path, Spooky Spectre path, pick your poison there, cover the soul gem. We're going to back out of here. Come in, we'll take a look at his quests. Again, the first 6 really basic. Defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 fruits, non-story mode level with full health upon completion. As you can see, True Gladiator, that's almost done. My nephew's probably single-handedly done that. Just win 10 PvP. Totally maxed out. I do like this one. If you don't like Grim Creeper, this encourages you to fully upgrade him and play with him quite a bit with those upgrades, and then see if it changes your mind. Same obviously applicable to all characters. First undead one, essentially though, this is the same for everything. It's just elemental. Costs 7,500 elemental bonus damage. Now the 3 we really want to pay attention to begin with Witherer. Defeat a total of 25 life spell punks. Again, you could run into the life spell punks in the life zone. Just make sure that you remember, hey, I've got some quests. I'm going to go ahead and switch to an undead, let them take it down. Back from the brink. Defeat a boss while at a critically low health. This is something you could set up if you've got a boss stage or something. You could possibly come in, have lowered the character's health beforehand. I'm assuming like Chapter 4 to 5 it would let that happen. If not, just go in, take a crud ton of damage with all your undead character, or I guess one at a time you'd have to do for this one. But I do like this better than Giants. And Giants, again, they had the deal you had to lose 3 times. That's kind of sad, that you have to lose to be rewarded in the end. But this one I think makes a lot more sense. It kind of still accomplishes both tasks, if you will. Now, the one we really want to pay attention to here is the big crown. Aggressive outfit. Hit 10 enemies in a row with your armor while it travels back to you. This is something you're going to need to set up. Obviously, you don't want like a wide open area. You want something somewhat confined. And again, Chompy Pods, Chompies, Garden Variety, Greebles. Pretty much any time you see the situation there, just go for it. If you get lucky, you'll get it. You'll have it done. Don't have to worry about it anymore. So, that said, we are pretty well done here. This was LightCore Grim Creeper once again. Character my nephew's very fond of. Very, very good with him in battle mode. But, big news in terms of the recording is this was done in 720, true HD. I've got the HD TV cranking it out now, so I'm excited to see how it looks. I may do the next several in 720 and then on Jolly. That way, if I don't edit these for a while, I'll remember, hey, there was something special here, and then I'll, say, oh yeah, it's 1080. Let's see how it looks. More importantly, the file size. If these file sizes get to be massive, I'm gonna have to come in, and chop them down, do something like that. So just basically it'll make the editing and the rendering take that much longer, but the quality should be there. This is really kind of the ultimate culmination, the payoff, if you will. Had the Wii U since launch, been playing it on the old TV, which again I can't complain about. I got years of use out of it. Still works, even the original remote. Some of the buttons kind of stick, get to be a problem to get to any channels in the 50s, but that said, here it is now. Obviously a lot has changed in terms of TVs, technology since that one, and I'm now a part of that. So that kind of works in conjunction not only with the Wii U, but with the new capture card. I should be able to capture everything in HD. We'll kind of see how that goes. I'm going to check right now, 1930. It looks to be about right. I don't know that it dropped any frames. It's not significantly off on the recording differential here, so That said, I'm going to quit rambling about that, but again, I felt like it needed to be addressed, obviously. Uh, I'll only mention it again when I do switch to the 1080, possibly even just for my own reference again. But outside of that, you probably won't hear me talk about it here in the playthrough until we get back to Chapter 6. That way, if people are skipping the character introductions, and they just watch Chapter 5 and they're like, whoa, what was this idiot not doing? I can say, hey, it's a new TV, HD, 1080, everything's massively upgraded from what you previously saw. Um, anyway, like I said, I'm really enjoying this. The TV is super nice. Again, particularly coming from what I'd used all this time. So it's one of those things I have a hard time spending money to replace something that still works just fine. But it got to the point, I was having to switch the cables from the Wii to the Wii U all the time, and wasn't getting full quality out of the Wii U. The picture, I think the games actually look better than the TV. Granted, when I have the HD over the SD, standard channels, it is noticeable, at least in my opinion. But the games really, really look good. Um, that said, I'm gonna quit rambling about that again. But I just kind of wanted to cover it just so people say, man, he really screwed stuff up there at the start of this thing. That is not the case. It's just like I said. Swap Force, is kind of coming out on the, newer consoles, the Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, and the Wii U is certainly more than capable to look very, very impressive in my opinion. So now, with the Wii U, the new consoles, I got the X-Bone. We can go that route later on, but the new capture card, culmination again really is the TV there that actually allows me to capture things. So like I said, hopefully, I don't see how anyone can complain about it, but it should be a marked improvement from what I had previously been doing. So that's it. I'm going to quit rambling again. I'll try to get these processed, edited, uploaded, rendered, all that jazz for you. Kind of get a feel for things there, and then like I said, if the quality isn't significantly different between the 720 and the 1080 after they've been rendered, I do realize YouTube obviously kind of has the final say in that stuff. It's not like I can bring everyone into my living room and play this back for you on my personal computer. So I'll kind of see if the 1080 does look better than the 720 and the file sizes aren't crazy huge compared to the 720. I'll go that route. If the file sizes are nuts or the quality after it's up to YouTube is kind of negligible between the two, I'll opt obviously for the smaller file size. We'll go that route. But once again, kind of very cool to kind of join the modern world here. I actually have HDMI inputs on the TV, not just the computer monitor. So that said, I'll leave it at this. Again, I'm going to try to come in here, crank out these legendaries, get our Bumble Blast, Jolly Bumble Blast fixed for the day since it is Christmas. And then, like I said, I hope to get these up. I think I've edited through 18 or something, so not a whole lot of them to go. That's it again. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you've got questions on this or comments, let me know. Twitter, the blog, whatever works for you. And again, I'll kind of I'll compare the file sizes, check the renderings, times, everything like that, and we'll kind of see if we want to go 720 or 1080. So once again, I won't mention this much more outside of Chapter 6, and then probably throughout the game when I'll say, man, it's nice looking at the new TV. Just know, I do work. I use that 32-inch screen with a 34-inch backside for years. So it's kind of one of those things. It's a little past due, but I can't complain. Really enjoying it. So, like I said, thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. And I guess I will catch you back here. We will take a look at Legendary LightCore Grim Creeper.